Okay. That was all fun and games. Just doing my thing, trying to, well, actually, I'll go ahead and intro now. So, hey everybody, welcome back. Glad to have you. Um, if you're a first-time subscriber to the channel or watcher to the channel, I just want to say this is where I do a whole bunch of random shit because I got a whole bunch of random shit going on in my life, and I just like to record some of it. More precisely and more thematically, this is a continuation of my journey into video editing. Today, I will not be doing anything within Adobe Premiere Pro, which has been the tool that if you want to check out here or check out here, you can see me completely botch doing a number of videos, learning within that tool. This one I'm going to be using, wait for it, drum roll buzzword, AI, you got it. My co-host of the specialist, Zach Janicello, put me on this tool called Descript. I think it is Descript.io, Descript.com. I'm gonna hammer out some fun stuff with you guys live, and hopefully have some clips at the end of this. We have now 8 full episodes recorded. On the specialist, and I'm taking one from a good friend of mine, and really, awesome guy, very talented real estate, both salesperson, broker, but also real estate developer, builder, designer, Brian Vance. So I'm taking his episode, and I'm going to be learning a little bit of Descript's clip feature and functionality with his recording. So thanks for tuning in. Glad to have y'all. And yeah, let's learn a new tool together. Here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to desktop 2. Bada bing, we can see desktop 2. Bam, we're there. We're going to zoom in a touch. Okay, cool. We got some good views going on. And our first things first is we're going to go into projects. So studio sound quality, let's dismiss that. Oh, you see, man, I always mess this up. I always mess this up. Whenever I go to share, I have to make sure to click share sound. And I'm going to share the studio sound quality because otherwise I'm editing and you guys can't hear what the hell I'm doing. So I'm going to share desktop 2 again, bada boom. And now you can see my screen, which is fantastic. I'm also going to make myself visible. Show meeting, whatever. It's all good. I don't need to see myself. I know what I look like, and it ain't getting better with the less sleep I get because of my 5-week-old. So the first thing I'm going to do, so I can go to Own by Me, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a new project. This is a new video project. Upload podcast recordings. Wow, they know what I'm they know what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take episode 2 corrected, upgrade to expanded file, upload powers. Okay, cool. So I could upgrade right now. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to upgrade. Oh, wait. Looks like I have to upgrade if I want to upload a 4K recording. Let me hit upgrade. Let me see what this is going to cost us if I want to upgrade to this. Okay, let's see, let's see. Yeah, that's wild. Build monthly, $24 per person per month. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So regrettably, this is kind of where, I don't want to say this is where they get you, but this is where they get you. Because if I try to drop this folder, what I'm seeing is, right, your plan doesn't support uploading this file. And it's because my file is shot in 4K, which is dope. Now, what I could do is I could go to episode 2. I could download. Let me see what my options are. Let me save as, right, let me check how to move from 4K to 1080p in Dropbox, right? Let's see if that'll high quality to Dropbox to move from 4K to Drop. You're like referring to reducing the video resolution for previewing sharing, not actually changing the original file's resolution. Here's how it works. Preview resolution, original file, downloading. When you download a video from Dropbox, you'll get the original 4K, not a 1080 version. Oh my word. So let's see, convert 4K to 1080. Let's just do that, right? To convert, you can use various softwares like Adobe Premiere Pro, Handbrake, or Online. So, you know what? I lied to y'all. I said we weren't going to use Premiere. Man, we're learning on the fly. We're learning on the fly, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with not having all the perfect answers. I'm cool with everything not being perfect all the time, just part of the learning experience. So I think what I can do is I believe, now this may take more time than we have, but I'll either accelerate or pause the recording so you guys don't have to painstakingly watch this. What I may do is pop the Brian episode into Premiere Pro, export it as a 1080p video, which I think would be the stepwise process. Adobe is coming up, right? I'm actually gonna stop share. Yeah, so while this is pulling up, I'm gonna give it a second. Okay, very cool. All right, so I am gonna share my screen again. We'll go back to desktop 2. We're sharing sound still. All right, dope. So I wanna open a new project. I'm gonna take this Brian episode and I'm gonna pop it onto the desktop. I'm gonna go new project. This is B Vance, and I'm gonna call this clips. Now keep in mind, folks, you could, if you really knew what you were doing and you wanted to keep these things in 4K, you could absolutely create your clips. You could create your clips right here, right? So I call this, what did I call this? EP2 corrected, right? EP2 corrected, we can import that. So bam, there's Brian Vance. Do you want to enable auto transcription for all clips in the sequence? Now, what's interesting is in this particular case, I do, right? In this particular case, I do want to do that because I'm going to use those text, think sort of vertical format promo style content, right? So for an Instagram reel or story or a TikTok reel, I do want these transcripts. So let's create captions from transcript, create new caption track. Let's go to create new caption track. Format, subtitle. I don't even know what these are. Stream service 1. Let's just go for it. Now, what I think is going to happen when I do create a new caption track, I think it's going to create a new track down below that basically allows me, if I want to cut or paste the captions. I mean, let's see. I don't even know. Let's see.
Honestly, I really want this role.
Buddy, I didn't know.
I'll do anything.
Okay, right. So we got this here. That's good. This is looking good. Our sound is fine. We're not messing around. Again, our goal with this is we could look at how do you do clips right here in this video. Now, one way we could do clips is I'll do anything. Okay, cool. Let's actually flex a little bit and show off what we know about Adobe Premiere. And we can go to, let me click on the clip, right? Metadata, effect controls, right? Effect controls is what I'm looking for, right? So what we could do is we could literally, from here, right? We could go effect controls, and we want to scale this to, so in this case, we want to scale this right on Brian, right? So let's go 300, right? 300, 200, right? 200 better. Anchor point, right? Remembering our anchor point, if we double click, we can then click and drag our anchor point around. You can see, actually, we're moving the whole screen right now. I did not know why it started doing that, but I do know, there we go, right? Bam. So you got to get this little highlight box. Oh, man, that is the most frustrating thing I've ever seen. Oh, that is brutal. But what you can do instead is you can just click and drag, and then you can move your anchor point around. So this would be the clip size. Let's go 175, right? This would be the clip size for a wide angle, like if it was a one-on-one interview and we were doing it on YouTube, or if this was an ad we were going to run on YouTube, then this might be the, hey, Brian, say something really funny right here. But that is not what we're going for. So I'm going to Command Z a couple times. I think my scale is right. And remember, I'm scaling this entire clip right now, right? So everything is scaled on Brian, and that's camera one. Now remember, if I go bam, right? This is now camera two, and wait, where's camera three? He's going to splice some camera three in the picture. There. That is camera three, right? So I love that frame. That's an export frame. Love that. Z and B, and this is YouTube still, right? I'll call it H and Brian still. That's really nice looking. I love the look of that. It's going to drop into a folder that I use for YouTube staging. I love the color. I love the pensive nature. That's a nice lead-in visual, I think. What did I want to do? What I want to do is show a cool clip, like a Brian saying something funny and me putting a caption over the top of it. Now, it asked me if I wanted to do a caption. And the reality is I don't know how to do a caption, but I probably could get it to tell me pretty easily, right? So I have this. Now, here's one question is how do I get, so position, video, let's see here. Yeah, this is what's interesting is I don't know how would I take this, and instead of having this be in 16:9 format, how could I say, show me this portion and let's even have some fun. Let's make a slice, right? So now we have a cut, and let's say, how do I make this portion 16:9? Right? Or 4:3 or vertical format instead of 16:9. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool to learn. Graphics template, credits. This is where, I mean, this is for sure where paying, this is where learning, like getting deeper into the functionality on my own video tutorials of watching them and then regurgitating them to you all. This is where that would pay real dividends because I'm for sure lost and I'm going to click around and not get anywhere here. So what I want to do instead is I'm going to undo that. Remember, going back to why the hell are we here? We want to export something into 1080p, right? We want to export something into 1080p. File name is B Vance for Reels and Clips, right? So we are trying to make promo content for Brian, right? It's going into Adobe Promo or Adobe Premiere file. That's okay. Match source bitrate. You see that? So in this case, it would make it automatically 4K because that's what it was recorded in. So in this case, we're going to go to high quality 1080p HD, right? And that will allow us, if we remember, right, to go back to what Descript was showing us, right? File sizes up to 20 gigs, file resolutions up to 5K, upgrade 720p. I mean, yeah, it may just be a file size issue, frankly, team. So we're going to just have to kind of see, right? Let's go to 1080p, and we're going to be looking for this file, right? It's a media file. Now, what's interesting is I could publish this direct to any of these tools, but I'm not trying to do that right now. Add the media encoders queue. Target 20 estimated file size is okay. That's cool. That's interesting. So let's see here. It's up to 20 gigs, and this is, this is bigger. So what I could do is I could bump it up to there, and you can see that this goes up to 35,000 megabytes. And let's see how many megabytes in a gigabyte, right? So if it says my limit is 20 gigs, file size up to 20, file resolutions up to 5K, upgrade your plan in order to up to your file size. Your plan only supports file uploads of 1 gig. That's what my issue was. So it wasn't my resolution, it was my file size. So what I can then see is 1 gig is 1,000 megabytes. So if I go back to here, you can see that I'm way over with the 4K, 1080p. Right now, I'm in big trouble because I'm gonna have to degrade the quality so much. Yeah, like even if I do that, all right, even if I do that. Now, what I could do instead, I'm just trying to be creative. I'm just trying to be creative. Um, File, open recent, Vance clips, right? What I could do instead, right? I could go here, I can say, all right, like there's probably some meat and potatoes between here and here, or even here, right? I'm going to delete this one, delete. Well, this ain't working, baby. I'm trying to delete. It ain't working. Delete. Huh. I'm not even able to delete anything. Cancel this. Ah, there we go. Delete. Pull this forward, right? So somewhere in here is some magic, right? We'll say we got different camera clips in there. That's good, right? And we'll even go, yeah, we'll keep it this size and hopefully this won't be too crazy. Let's export. All right. And now here we're below the 1,000, right? So we can try to bump that up a little bit. And you can see, man, we're going to have to get really, this is where learning and knowing how to do this within Premiere Pro is super valuable because, if you want to do it now, what I'm going to do for the sake of my sanity, right? I'm actually going to go back to File. I'm going to open a recent. I'm going to open Vance Clips, right? I'm going to undo the changes I just made. Actually, let me, um, man, man, this is wild. It's really tough to fight this thing. Media file. I got some weirdness happening on my, see what I'm talking about? I got some weird shit going on. So for the sake of my own sanity, right? There we go. I want to edit, right? I'm back in edit mode. Okay. Back in edit mode. Interesting. All right. So I'm back in edit mode. I'm going to export this. I am going to export this. I'm going to export this, call it, oh my gosh, this is brutal. Media file, yes. This is, B Vance downgraded file type, right? But what I want to do, and this may be the secret, bro, I might be onto a little trick here. So the secret could be, right? This is even too big. This is even too big as just a big old file, right? So that's what's brutal is I'm gonna have to split this into two, and I'll split it right at the, let's call it at the 20. We're gonna split it right at the 20-minute mark. We'll split it right before the 20-minute mark, and then we'll split it right after the 20-minute mark, right? We're gonna go here, razor, bam, bam, right? Boom. We're gonna export this, right? File, we're going super low quality. We're below 1,000. That's perfect. And we're calling this Brian Vance for clips, right? Brian Vance for clips is going into the Adobe Premiere folder and it's SD. Okay, cool. Let's export. Encoding. All right. And I will pause the recording and come back to this when you guys are ready to rock. Okay, so we are back. And as you can see from peeping at my screen here, I've been doing some research. And I think that in two super fast views, I actually learned how to do what I need to do within Adobe Premiere. That said, I promised you all a look at Descript and a look at Adobe Premiere. And by George, that is what you're going to get. Okay, that is what you're going to get. Now, let me go to, I'm going to make this smaller. Okay, I'm going to make this smaller. Now, I am looking for the file bvance. Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking for the file Adobe file. It's in the Adobe folder on my Finder. Yep. So we're going to go to my Finder. We're going to go to Documents. We're going to go to Adobe. Look at that. Look at that. Premiere Pro 25. Okay. Bvance for clips. All right. Dope. Bvance for clips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Descript. I'm going to get out of this pay them more mode. And instead, I'm going to drop, where did that file go? There it is, right? So I'm dropping Bvance for clips into Descript. And bada bing, I'm not a complete idiot. I'm really glad that I'm not. So that's what we're going to do. Your transcript will be ready in a few minutes. Bvance for clips. There are, how many speakers should we look for? There are 3 speakers. Detecting speakers, always ask before detecting speakers, yes, and then done. Uploading and transcribing your media. Cool. This should be a pretty quick process. So while that's actually, I'll stay where I'm at because I think this process will go pretty quick, and then we can see just rehashing. So why am I doing this? What have I done so far? We've significantly made a cut in the middle of the episode, which was filmed in 4K. Again, 4K, so we can do cool zoom in and zoom out without losing resolution. We want to do effects. We filmed it in a way so that we can do cool stuff on the back end. And of course, Descript knows that. So they're trying to make us pay to do cool stuff within their software to do it automatically. Now, I'm already paying for Adobe Premiere, and I think that within Adobe Premiere, quite frankly, I'm going to stop sharing. I think that within Adobe Premiere, quite frankly, it already has a lot of this sort of smart technology, AI technology, whatever you want to call it, built into it. And you can do some pretty powerful stuff in there. You just may have to work a little bit harder. Watch 2 YouTube videos and bam, you kind of know what the deal is. So this is continuing to transcribe. Why am I doing this in Descript? One, I want to see what the flow looks like doing it in Descript versus doing it in Premiere. I do think it's going to be easier in Descript. I think it's going to be easier in the sense that you're going to drop it in, you're going to say, show me highlights. It's going to auto clip, kind of making your life faster. But I'm not sure that it's going to be better because I think you're going to have a lot more control using Premiere. So control is the name of the game in Premiere Pro, control and high fidelity, and speed is the name of the game within a tool like Descript, and that's what you're paying for, frankly. So let me make sure I'm sharing my sound. Sometimes that can be confusing. It is sharing sound, and we are sharing desktop too. Very good. Okay, so try these. Try out these.
Making videos is
okay.
Making videos
background
is
noise
hard, and when you're done, you still have to make clips for social media.
So I do want to add captions, right?
Making videos is hard.
Okay, and then apply to my project. So let Underlord take the first editing pass. It will quickly find all rambly parts, awkward pauses. I'm going to dismiss this, right? Multiple speakers detected. Yeah, identify speakers. So here we go. We're going to identify speakers.
You sold or bought a home for something.
There's so many steps along the way for you to get a new client to take them to the end. I mean, the first call would be a good one, especially for like SEO leads.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't know who the hell's speaking there.
Let's
go next. Say Brian.
We're going to talk to Brian for literally 1 minute about his specialization and for 58 minutes about.
Okay.
This branded content that's going to continue, in my opinion, to perform less and less.
Jack Zanicello, and then let's
one of our previous guests literally comes to real estate understanding of
this is me
the
again.
Role of the real estate agent and your role specifically, kind of building what you're building.
That's it. Cool. Okay. Right now, what's cool, and I believe what is really spiffy about Descript in particular is your free plan includes 5 uses of Underlord's basic AI power, right? So edit for clarity, remove filler words, draft show notes. What I want to do is I really want to, so obviously we have all of our clip. We could go, right? You can see that we have this captioning capability already there. Now, what I want to do is app layout, right? Side by side. Cool. That's fun. All right. Wow. I mean, this is wild that it pretty much gates. I mean, they've got a lot of gates within Descript's product for if you want to take the easy way, meaning quite literally meaning this difference, right? If you want to be in a project, this is what we're talking about. This is what they're charging you to do. So you have to have Premiere, right? Okay, cool. You have to have Premiere. You click the project, you go to text, okay? You go to text, transcript, okay? Etude is untranscribed, right? And I think it's transcribe. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. I clicked the button, I clicked transcribe. You have no gate. There's no gating on the ability to transcribe within this tool. It's, it's doing its thing. It's going to take a second to transcribe. It's going to offer a transcription. I believe it will pop up in the timeline view here. And you could do that for 10 hours of content, for 100 hours of content and have no issue. Whereas if we go back and look at Descript, you can do that for 39 minutes on the plan that we have. So, that's pretty gnarly. So it's doing its thing. It's still going to take a couple minutes. So what I want to do in the meantime while that's transcribing is I want to find highlights. So I want to find highlights. Now this is also pretty cool that you can add in stock audio, right? So if there's a beat or something, it's all built in right here rather than having to import file media into Adobe Premiere, right? So to compare and contrast that right here within Descript, you literally click a button, you want to import some stock audio, cool. You click the button, you add it to your timeline, you click plus, and then it just adds it into your timeline, right? And then you can remove it or move it around, I'm sure, right? All groovy. Now, here, you would have to go to your media browser. You would have to have downloaded the file from YouTube or Spotify or wherever, drop it into your media file, and then, like you do with these, pull it over into the document. So pretty wild. All right, coming back here, we don't really want that audio, but I'm not really tripping on the audio right now. What I really want to do is I want to come up with highlight sections. So where is the ability to come up with highlight sections? Clicking on my elements here, right? There's the music. I could probably remove the music. Recording, scene. Okay. Right click, add scene above, project thumbnail. I get the idea, right? I think what's cool about the scene thing is you could really, you could put your intros in pretty easily. This tool just, I think the idea is that it makes your life a little easier, right? So let's go, these are Underlord capabilities. Automatic multicam, look good, repurpose, create clips. Look at that, right? So this is one of Underlord's core offerings is I click create clips, right? It puts it in the format that you want it in, number of clips. Let's say I want 10 clips, or actually I want 5 clips because I don't want to overdo it because I'm paying for these clips, I think. Let's say the clip duration could be 30 seconds, and then we want to make it in this format, right? See more layouts. This is great, no problem. And then the topic, describe the goal. You know, great points on real estate, because that was the subject of the conversation. Okay, here we go. Related injury, always say, sorry, Underlord isn't perfect. It'd be insufferable if it was. Yeah, that's true. It would be insufferable. Underlord is thinking, for God's sakes, right? Look at this. There you go, right? So let's go watch one of these clips. Let's see how it does. Let's watch the clip.
Thank
Play.
you for treating me like a human being and not a lead.
Yeah, right.
And that totally like broke down and just creates like an element of like humanness that I think people respond very well to.
Okay, wow, you see that? Okay, so there we have an issue that we snapped from in the actual video. We snapped from camera 1, right? We snapped from camera 1 to camera 2 in the clip, which, you know, whatever,
Which
that's
is
great.
just another great benefit to you
Snap
making
to
content,
camera
because by the time they
1.
actually talk to you, they probably feel like they know you a bit through your content. Right.
Hey, here's my website. Here's my Instagram. Take a look at me.
Yeah. Or maybe they've been following you for a year. They love your funny videos or whatever your content
Yeah,
is.
and I'll get people to reach out like, hey,
They're like, feels like I know you.
Okay. So one thing, I am not an expert at all, but let's go to another clip before we start editing these, right? We're not editing these yet, but like, just look at the capability, right? It's like out of the box, boom. You've got the concept here, right? Which is text that's very appealing. There's not too many words on the page. You have the blue highlighter
What
moving along with you as you're, you know, as the person is speaking, which is also really powerful. The biggest key is like, I just click search for these highlights and and bam, it does it, right? So let's go to keeping it real, authenticity. I'm going to double click that and click play.
Put real in real estate.
Yeah, damn. I think that well, obviously the like the Rolex. I mean, the Rolex. The speaking of watches, like the Rolex, the AP, the insert other fucking unattainable, affordable piece out there. There's like this really crazy space, and one of the guests, I have not talked to this person, but I very much believe he will be on the show within the not so distant future, is a watch manufacturer that's based in Nashville.
Okay, that was a dog shit clip. There was nothing there. So yeah, great. Like it pops up all these things. Let's hear micro wins in the real estate transaction. Here we
There
go.
are a lot of micro wins that happen before the big win, which is you sold or bought a home for something.
Yeah, there's so many steps along the way for you to get a new client
This is
to
a
take
good
them to
one.
the end.
You can see it.
I mean, the first call would be a good one.
You can
Especially
see
like
it.
SEO
This is a
leads
clip
that
right here.
warm
Boom.
lead that have like some general interest,
This
and
is
you
a
have to like
clip. This
win
is
them
perfect.
over on the phone. That's actually super valuable. And
This is perfect, right? This what just happened, that, my little bullshit question at the beginning, irrelevant. That really, really awesome. Now I do want to play just for a second to see if it would be possible to, right, position, fill scene editor, bottom left, effects, animation. I think the tough part is, and this is where you just lose a lot of control in a tool like Descript, right? So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, if I wanted to make a 20-second clip where the camera bops to 3 different views in a 20-second clip without this bullshit, right? You can do that right here, right? Now this thing is really going crazy transcribing, so it may not let me do it, right? And I may not even be able to watch. I may not, okay, I can't edit, right? So let's do this. Let's see where a clip changes, right? Bam, right there, right? So bam, we're gonna go here, we'll go to there, and we're gonna cut, right? We're gonna cut, cool. Now we're gonna go to where it switches, right? We're gonna go to where it switches, and we're gonna cut, okay? And now we're gonna play just a touch more. Oh, wow, we got the triple cut, right? So there we have a cut. We can cut here again. We already cut there. And now, right, boom to boom. Okay, fantastic. We're gonna cut one more time. Right, now I'm gonna show you how do you make a really, actually, didn't realize how much, that was kind of moving fast, but here we go. So right, let's say we wanted to make those two things the clip, right? Let's say we wanted to do a clip of both of those things at the same time. Now watch this. I can click this. I can say scale to 250, scale to 250. I can also take my anchor point and move my anchor point up. And right, okay. Scale to 250 is too many 50s, is too many scales, right? There, and my position is wrong. I don't know what happened there. Let me undo. Yeah, there we go. So I want to scale to 150. Okay, for whatever reason, my anchor point is right. You can see my anchor point is just a little too high and low. So remember, that's your screen there on the right. Right? So I'm there, I'm in the screen, all is well. Okay. So that's my view here. And now I also want to make this shot. I want to make this shot just Brian. So let's go. Anchor point is left. Position. No, it's that's not what I want, right? I really want to right? And I want to get my scale to 250, right? Again, okay? We're just having fun. We're not exactly perfect here, but we're going to say our scale is 200. Okay, cool. Now watch when I play this.
Yeah. And then like the more and the algorithms are all built for that, right? Like as far as what people are interested in seeing and how long they're going to stay and watch something. If I continually posted more and more of that content, it's going to push me out to more and more people, which would then in turn create more followers.
And you have your own like brokerage, right? For your own.
Okay. So, it's kind of playing around, doing its thing, but you get a sense of what I'm talking about. You can really dial these in so that your clip would follow the person along. Now, I do want to show off and go, so I think text. Oh, wow, this is crazy. It's really getting wild up here, doing some wild shit. So if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember how to, actually, I'm going to go back and watch just super quickly to make sure I'm not botching it. It's right here.
To convert horizontal content into short form vertical content for TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. I'll be using Premiere Pro to demonstrate this, but you can accomplish a talking head video on the timeline. The first method to convert my horizontal video into vertical is by going into sequence settings, and changing the frame size.
Sequence and sequence settings, right? So boom, sequence. Audio clip, that's audio. Here, right, sequence there.
Video into vertical is by going into sequence setting.
Sequence at the top of the page. Sequence settings, and then editing format is, right here, vertical. So 1080 here. And wait, let me make sure that was right. And 1980 here. 11:6, no, 2480. I'm going to cancel this. We'll go back to sequence. I'm going to actually go back to the beginning of this, right? This whole thing, I think it's going to change the whole thing, which is fine. We'll go back to here, sequence settings. And we'll go 1920 and 1080. So 1080, 1920, right? Okay, cool, right? Now you can see that everything got moved to this format, and look at this. So I have these different sections, right? And now I'm going to go to effect controls, and I'm going to double click. And here I'm going to, oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to pull this frame over, right? And now I'm going to have this there, and I'm going to go to scale to 150, right? Look at that. Now we have Brian, right? We have Brian full screen. Look at that. So the whole video will be Brian full screen talking. Sweet, right? The whole thing is like that. Now let me do this with this, right? This clip, Brian. Okay, and now what do, right? We go up, we go up, we go double click. Now what's crazy is, so Brian, now what's crazy is, right, I can grab here, double click again. Right, look at this. So now I could do scale is 180. I can hit play.
Brokerage, MW Real Estate Co. And then I have the Vance Group, which is my own.
I could start to zoom in on that.
Your face on camera. Is it on
Boom,
your
right?
accounts, or is it on your
This
team
one is
account?
It's on
250.
my account.
Okay.
Right? Look at
I
this.
do have a team account,
So look what we've done.
Umbrella Brokerage, which is MW Real Estate Co. And then I have the Vance Group, which is my own team.
Okay, when you're posting that content of your face on camera, is it on your accounts or is it on your team account?
It's on my account.
Cool punch in effect.
I do have a
Right? We're at 180, if I'm not mistaken. No, we're at 250 there. $180. Right? And now it should zoom in
brokerage. So
on
the way it
Brian.
works is like there's the Umbrella Brokerage, which is MW Real Estate
See
Co.
that
and
zoom
I have
in?
the Vance Group, which is my
Starting
own
to zoom
team.
in really
Okay, when you're posting
softly,
that content
really
of
soft
your face
zoom
on
in.
camera,
So
is
nice.
it on your accounts or is it on your team account?
It's on my account.
Okay.
I do have a team account.
Right?
Um,
Perfect. And then the last thing that we're lacking is, dude, I don't know what happened there, but man, I think I screwed the pooch. But that's okay. That's what we're doing. We're learning. Thanks for being here, y'all. I really appreciate it. It's been a blast for me to kind of keep diving into this stuff. I got to go eat some lunch and go pick up some tile for the Airbnb. I hope to catch you next time. Peace. Love you. Mean